Today we're going to work on making an around the post block. Here is the lovely little textured pattern that we're going to have when it comes all done. If you haven't watched the video on making around the post stitches that I've done previously, please go back and watch that because I'm not going to be explaining it as in much detail as I did them. Just like our other blocks, we're going to start with yarn. Make a nice little slip knot. I do the twist under, grab that loop, grab my yarn, pull it down and through, yanking it tight. There's my little knot. Pinch the knot and start my chaining. This pattern is going to start with 23 chains, but any odd number will work. 25, 21, 103, whatever you want. So you make those 23 stitches. And once you have them on there, we are actually going to be going back and doing a foundation row of double crochets. So instead of starting in the second chain from my hook, I'm going to actually start in the third chain from my hook. So I have 2 extra chains up there because double crochet is taller. I want a little bit more space. So I wrap the yarn, go into that third loop. There we go. Pull yarn back through, wrap, pull through 2 of those loops, wrap, pull through 2 of those loops. And I'm just going to go down to the next little hole. Keep doing this all the way down. Okay, so then we're going to end up with 21 double crochets. Now I left this rolled up because I just want to show you lots of times when you're doing that first row, it will just curl right up on you. That's fine. Flatten it right back out. Now here we're going to chain 2 at the end before we turn because we're working with doubles now. And this is where we start our pattern row. Our first stitch is going to be a half double. So you wrap, you go in that hole. Remember, you keep 2 little loops on top there. Wrap your hook around the yarn, pull it back through 3 loops, and to make the half double, you wrap the yarn around it and pull it through all 3 of those loops. So the first stitch and the last stitch of your pattern row are going to be half doubles, and this is just because the around the post kind of squishes down the whole row. It makes it a little bit shorter, so this will give you still a nice firm edge. Now here we go, we're going to do an around the post stitch. You wrap your yarn just like you're going to do a regular double crochet, but instead of going into the top, you're going to go around this post. There you go, the tall part of the stitch. Pull the yarn back through. That can be a little bit tricky, just practice. Wrap, pull through 2, wrap, pull through 2. Okay, now we're going to go back and do the next stitch. Now be careful, look at the next stitch on your hook, go to the top. Because the top part of this stitch has not been used, sometimes it can be tempting to go in there and add a stitch. That's not what we're going to be doing in this pattern. Although there are some patterns that call for it, like the mum block that we have on our website. But believe it or not, that is the whole pattern. You're just doing 1 around the post, stitch, and then 1 stitch right into here. We're just using doubles for all of this. You can actually do around the post with any size stitch that you want, but here we're doing doubles. Okay, and then you will end up with a complete row all the way down to the end. I guess my end came a little bit undone, but that's okay. It'll remind you that at the end you do a half double crochet. Remember, when you pull all those through, wrap it, pull it through all 3 of them. Chain 2 and turn your work. And then as you go along, you're just going to do another row of double crochets just like that first row. And just be right on top of each of the stitches here. Very easy to see. No problem. And then start it over again, flipping it, and do your half double, and then your double around the post, regular double, double around the post, regular double. And it gives you just this nice little kind of waffle look in the end. Cut your yarn, pull it through, leave about a 3-inch tail. Happy crocheting!